Our next sample interview is with Larry and Laverne Kreider. They are founders of Dove International, a worldwide family of believers involved in hundreds of churches and ministries located in 6 continents. I had the opportunity to set up our cameras at their leadership conference, where I was able to interview several of their church leaders, all with a diverse approach to growing the kingdom of God. God is doing a phenomenal work with this wonderful group of people. Here's highlights from that interview. We're here at the Dove International Conference, and we have been interviewing so many wonderful people here, but I have the distinct privilege of being able to introduce to the Kingdom Life audience Larry and Laverne Kreider, the founders and the originators of Dove International. Larry and Laverne, thank you for being here on Kingdom Live.
We're blessed to be here.
Good to be here.
Well, we've been here for many days at the conference, and we've had a chance to taste the fruit of your labors. Just the incredible interviews that we've been able to have that are going to be playing throughout the Kingdom Lives play schedule. Thank you so much for allowing us to come here.
Certainly.
How did it all start? Where do we start?
It really started with a heart that God gave us and a few young people in northern Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, to reach unchurched young people. And so we helped start a little ministry with a group of others. We called it Lost But Found. People who were lost coming into the kingdom. And just reaching out with, today we called Friendship Evangelism, just playing baseball, basketball. You remember those days?
Yeah.
And one by one, young people came to Christ, and then we were asked to start a Bible study with these new believers. And then it became clear they needed a new church. They weren't fitting into the local church in our area. And then I remember the place where God spoke to me one Sunday morning in this little Mennonite church building where your daddy was the pastor, and said, I've called you to start something new. And from then on, we had 25 brave people and started in a living room. And with 3 little life groups, cell groups, house fellowships, and one little group of 25 people on a Sunday morning. And Dove was birthed in November 1980.
Yeah.
That's how it all started, so simply, so practically. What has it grown into?
Well, the amazing thing here, we've gathered here with more than 400 leaders from 22 nations here these last few days. And I remember we looked at each other, we were young when the church just started, and we said, wouldn't it be amazing if when we're 80, this church would grow to 200 people? Wouldn't that be amazing? By the grace of God, our first church grew into more than 2,000 people. And then the Lord called us to decentralize that, train 8 pastors, and that was a good thing, and started planting churches worldwide. So today, the Dove family is about 600 churches in 22 countries.
What do you think is the key to that kind of phenomena growth?
Well, I feel like I'm doing all the talking here. You want to respond to that?
That's the grace of God.
The grace
for
of God,
sure.
number one,
Amen.
without a doubt.
But God just blessed us with amazing people.
Yeah,
Teamwork
that's it.
is what has really been a key for us. Yeah.
I'm asked that question all over the world, and I always say the same 2 things. It's the grace of God.
Yeah.
We know us. We are
Yeah.
common, ordinary
Yes.
people.
Oh,
And it's the
yes.
grace of God and an amazing team that God has assembled together
Yeah.
from the nations.
And one thing I do know is that you are kingdom people. And I
Without a
believe
doubt.
that we're shifting from the church age
Yeah.
Yes.
into the kingdom age.
Exactly.
How has Dove exemplified that?
Well, everywhere we go, everywhere there are churches, we encourage each of our leadership to reach out beyond themselves, to connect with other leaders, other pastors, other ministries, and work together, because one church can't change a community. But the kingdom will, and the kingdom is all those churches, ministries, seeing themselves as kingdom people joining together. We get so excited when we go into some of our churches and they're praying for churches, that meet down the street somewhere in another town, have nothing to do with the Dove family. Our family is called Dove International. But it's the kingdom. That's what counts. Yeah.
Yeah, I think too. We've encouraged that from the beginning,
Yeah,
just
we did.
to reach out in your own communities beyond yourselves and releasing. I think we've really encouraged to release people to be all that God's called them to be, and not to hold
True.
on, but to release them. And we've always just see ourselves as under people, just pushing them up to the Lord and pushing them into the call of God and the purposes of God. That's just
True.
always been dear to our hearts.
We see ourselves as spiritual fathers and mothers.
Yeah.
And
That
true,
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and true fathers, true mothers will not try to manipulate someone else to fulfill their vision, but they will find out what's the vision in their hearts and help them fulfill that vision.
Yes, that's
And
true.
we find that's a heart of the kingdom.
Dove International is certainly an amazing story of how two people in a home fellowship grew into a large international organization that is so fruitful for the kingdom of God. Here are the impressions of Kingdom Live's executive producers.
Over the years, every time Juanita and I have connected with Dove International, we have had our socks blessed off us.
God is using Larry and Laverne to develop a whole group of people who are extending the kingdom of God everywhere.
Larry and Laverne started by striving to reach unchurched young people. Are there young people who don't fit into church in your area? I'm certain there are. Juanita, what can we do about that?
Well, first of all, we need to pay attention. The youth are our future. If we don't pay attention to the next generation, we will impoverish all future generations. The youth are in trouble. So many of them have dropped out of church. They don't feel like they fit in. The same need that motivated Larry and Laverne should motivate us now.
They encourage people to reach out beyond themselves. They see themselves, as we all should, as spiritual mothers and fathers to help people come into the destiny God has for them. We believe, as they do, that God has a destiny for every single person. As people step into their assignments, they focus on equipping. We need to be equipped and to equip others.
Thanks, Johnny and Juanita. In the future, be sure and tune into Kingdom Live and watch the interviews that highlight the work of the Kingdom of God from the leaders of Dove International Family of Ministry. Here on Kingdom Live, it's our goal to inspire, refresh, and encourage you. As we launch Kingdom Live, we hope that you will partner with us by supporting this ministry financially. And to show you our thanks, we would like to make available to you an inspiring t-shirt that sports one of my favorite life verses from Psalm 19, 1 and 2, which says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork. Day unto day utters speech, and night unto night reveals knowledge." I've had a lifelong love of stargazing, and this verse is special to me because often I quote it when I'm sharing my faith. To donate to the ministry of Kingdom Live, just go to kingdomlive.tv and click on the Shop Now button, and we'll send you a Psalm 19 t-shirt as our thank you. Thank you so much for your support and prayers as we seek to encourage believers to live out their faith in service to the King of the universe.